Over dinner, our star-crossed lovers discover that art isn't the only thing creating sparks between them. Hope you brought your appetite, because this meal is serving up some serious sexual tension as the main course. Chapter 4. An Artistic Rendezvous. Camila stood before her closet, a tornado of fabric surrounding her. Dresses, blouses, and skirts lay strewn across every surface of her tiny apartment. She held up a simple black dress, then tossed it aside with a groan.
It's just dinner.
She muttered to herself, picking up a flowing sundress.
With a world-famous art collector who's seen your work and might change your life. No pressure.
Her phone buzzed and she nearly jumped out of her skin. A text from an unknown number.
Looking forward to our dinner. Don't forget to bring your portfolio and perhaps some band-aids, just in case. Maxim.
Camila couldn't help but laugh, even as her cheeks flushed at the memory of their first encounter. At least he had a sense of humor about it. An hour later, Camila found herself at one of Rio's most exclusive restaurants, clutching her portfolio like a lifeline. Maxim rose as she approached, and for a moment, Camila forgot how to breathe. He looked even more handsome in the soft lighting, his tailored suit accentuating his broad shoulders.
Miss Santos,
He said, his accent wrapping around her name like silk.
I'm glad you could make it. Without incident, I see.
Camila felt her lips twitch.
The night is young, Mr. Volkov. I haven't tripped over anything yet.
A ghost of a smile played on Maxim's lips as he held out her chair. As Camila sat, she noticed a small box on the table.
A gift.
Maxim explained, pushing it towards her.
Open it.
Curious, Camila lifted the lid. Inside, nestled on velvet, was a delicate silver bracelet, and dangling from it,
Is that a tiny fire extinguisher?
Camila asked, torn between laughter and disbelief. Maxim's eyes twinkled with mischief.
I thought it prudent, given your penchant for creating sparks.
Camila couldn't help it. She burst out laughing.
You're terrible.
She managed between giggles.
So I've been told,
Maxim replied, but his smile was warm.
though I prefer to think of myself as prepared.
Oh? And what else are you prepared for, Mr. Volkov?
Camila asked, surprising herself with her boldness. Maxim leaned in, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper.
Well, I did consider bringing a helmet, but I thought it might clash with your outfit.
Are you implying I'm dangerous, sir?
Absolutely.
Maxim nodded solemnly.
To furniture, glassware, and unsuspecting art collectors everywhere.
Their laughter mingled, drawing curious glances from nearby diners. As it subsided, Maxim's expression softened.
In all seriousness, Camila, I'm glad you came tonight. Your work, it's truly exceptional.
Camila felt a blush creeping up her cheeks.
Thank you, though I'm still half convinced this is an elaborate prank. Famous art collector discovers waitress's hidden talent? It sounds like a bad Hallmark movie.
But in those movies, isn't the art collector usually a secret prince as well?
Maxim raised an eyebrow.
Don't tell me.
Camila began, eyes widening in mock surprise.
Alas, just a humble Russian oligarch.
Maxim sighed dramatically.
Though I've been told I have a royal wave.
He demonstrated with a flick of his wrist, nearly knocking over his water glass in the process. It was Camilla's turn to rescue the teetering glass.
My, Mr. Volkov. And here I thought I was the clumsy one.
What can I say? You're rubbing off on me already.
As they perused the menu, Maxim pointed to an elaborate dish.
Have you tried the feijoada here? It's excellent.
On a waitress's salary? I'm lucky if I can afford the breadbasket.
But as a starving artist, isn't suffering for your art part of the job description?
Oh, yes.
Camila nodded sagely.
I suffer through ramen noodles nightly. It's very avant-garde.
Maxim chuckled.
Well, consider this meal part of your artistic education. Now tell me about your work. What inspires you?
Camilla's eyes lit up.
Everything, really. The way light hits the favelas at sunset, the rhythm of samba in the streets. It's like finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. Taking something everyone sees every day and showing them the magic hidden inside.
Like turning a clumsy encounter into a charming dinner date?
Maxim suggested, his eyes twinkling. Camila felt her cheeks warm.
Exactly, though I'm not sure how charming it is to assault a man with his own painting.
On the contrary,
Maxim leaned forward, his gaze intense.
I found it quite striking.
Their eyes met, and for a moment, the rest of the restaurant faded away. Camila felt a pull towards him, an undeniable connection that both thrilled and terrified her.
So,
She said, breaking the spell before she did something foolish like lean across the table and kiss him.
tell me about your collection. Any secret masterpieces hidden away?
Maxim's eyes glinted with amusement.
Now, Miss Santos. A gentleman never reveals all his secrets on the first date.
Oh, so this is a date then?
Camila teased, enjoying the way Maxim's composure slipped for just a moment. He recovered quickly, a smirk playing on his lips.
That depends. Are you planning on spilling anything on me tonight?
I'll do my best to restrain myself,
Camila promised solemnly.
though I make no guarantees about the tiramisu.
Their banter continued through the meal, punctuated by passionate discussions about art techniques, favorite painters, and the merits of various artistic movements. Camila found herself gesturing animatedly as she defended the use of bold colors in modern art, while Maxim argued for the subtle power of classical techniques.
But don't you see?
Camila insisted, waving her fork for emphasis.
It's about emotion, raw and unfiltered. Sometimes you need to scream in color to make people feel.
And sometimes,
Maxim countered, leaning in.
the softest whisper can shake the soul.
Their gazes locked, and suddenly Camila was acutely aware of how close they were, how intimate this conversation had become. She cleared her throat, reaching for her water glass to break the tension. Naturally, this was the moment her elbow decided to betray her, knocking the glass directly into Maxim's lap.
Oh no,
Camila gasped, mortified.
I'm so sorry, I can't believe I...
But Maxim was laughing, a rich, genuine sound that made Camila's heart skip.
I suppose I should have gotten you a bracelet with a caution wet floor sign instead.
He chuckled, dabbing at his trousers with a napkin.
At least it wasn't the tiramisu.
Camila offered weakly, helping to mop up the spill. Their hands brushed, and Camila felt that now familiar jolt of electricity. Maxim's laughter faded, his eyes meeting hers with an intensity that made her breath catch. For a brief moment, Maxim's carefully constructed facade slipped. Camila saw a flash of vulnerability in his eyes, a hint of longing that mirrored her own. But as quickly as it appeared, it was gone, replaced by his usual composed expression.
Well,
Maxim said, his voice slightly husky.
I think that's our cue to call it a night. May I walk you home?
Camila nodded, suddenly aware of the lateness of the hour and the complexity of their situation. As they strolled through the warm Rio night, their conversation turned to safer topics. Upcoming exhibitions, the local art scene, Camila's next series. At her door, they paused, the air thick with unspoken words.
Camila,
Maxim began, then hesitated.
I'd like to help you. Your talent deserves to be seen, but I want you to know that my interest in your work is entirely professional. I wouldn't want to complicate things.
Camila felt a pang in her chest, even as she nodded in agreement.
Of course, professional. That's perfect.
For a moment, neither moved. Then Maxim took her hand, pressing a gentle kiss to her knuckles.
Good night, Camila Santos. I look forward to seeing more of your work.
As Camila watched him walk away, she couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental had just slipped through her fingers. She touched the tiny fire extinguisher charm on her new bracelet and smiled ruefully. Maybe, she thought, they both needed a little protection. Not from physical mishaps, but from the dangerous territory their hearts were venturing into.